Hello，正在收看艺术游牧计划的大家好，我是TingAn，是今天的主持人。然后我很开心可以跟大家介绍我两位非常亲近的好朋友 Samuel 还有Pèter，他们两个都是非常资深的舞者，然后目前也正在积极投入教学还有策展方面。今天主要也是请他们分享他们这几年来在规划的一些舞蹈节，像是夏天的 Summer Workshop。So guys. Would you maybe want to briefly introduce yourself to say hi? Shall we start with Samuel?
Yeah, sure. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for being here with us today, and also thank you to Go Team for invite us to share this talking. My name is Samuel. I'm from the Canary Islands, from Spain, and I'm a dancer, choreographer, and teacher. Shortly to talk about maybe my dance. I study in Las Palmas. I started, then I went to Madrid and finished my studies in the conservatory in the classical dance. And right after, I started working in neoclassical or contemporary companies like Compañía Nacional de Danza in Spain, Ballet Carmen Roche, La Mauve Dance Company. After that, I moved to Switzerland and I spent there around 9 years, 6 years working in a fixed company, Lucerne Dance Theater. And after that, I was freelancing, doing projects in different places in Europe. I went back to work in a fixed company in Tenerife, and last year I did also studies. While I was working, I did a bachelor in dance, and then last year I did a master. And right now I'm working as a teacher mainly. I'm not dancing so much anymore. I'm more now working as a teacher and still choreographing sometimes as well. And related to this talk, I've been also a part of a dance festival as a co-founder, and that is called Festival Danse Maintenant in France. That's it.
Thank you. We will come back to ask more things, or I don't know, we will talk more later. But then could we also have to introduce yourself a bit?
Hello, my name is Pèter Juhász. I'm from Hungary, and I'm a dancer, organizer, and choreographer sometimes. I'm based in Budapest, and about schools, I did first. Actually, I met contemporary dance when I was 19, and I did this 1-year program, which will be important later because it's very similar to the program that we are about to organize next year. And then I did 1 year in the Hungarian Contemporary Dance Academy, and then 2 years in SEED, Salzburg, in Austria, where actually I started also to create. And there was a choreographer, Roberto Olivan, Spanish choreographer, came to see the piece and offered me a job, and that was my first professional creation with him while I was still in school. Which was also very important, a big impact, because he's the one who's organizing the Deltebre Danza Festival, which was the first festival that I saw and participated to. And so after that, for 4 years in a row, I went to Deltebre and I was dancing there every year. After that, I was working with the Hungarian company called Gangarai Dance Company. So basically, I've been always freelancing, working project by project. After that, I went to France, worked with the Kubilai Khan investigations, led by Frank Micheletti, French choreographer. And that's where I started to teach, giving company classes. Then I went back to Budapest and was working with the Belgian choreographer Eleonore Waller, which was a very precious project because we were all Hungarians. And I think I only did 2 projects with Hungarians since I'm dancing, so it was a very important part. After 2012, we established the collective called Sublab Collective, And we started with the creation. It was with Adrian Ash and David Miko, but we will talk about this later, more detail. And then in 2013, we organized the first IDW Budapest Summer Festival. After that, I joined the project in Belgium to work with Kaori Ito. It was a production of Les Ballets de la Baie. So I was in Ghent at that time. Then followed by Hinoki, which was made by a Hungarian choreographer, Mészáros Máté, who was working with Ultima West for 4 or 5 years. Then I got invited by a Hungarian company to make a piece. That was my first kind of big creation that I had to create, Boundless. And then Charleroi Dances in Belgium. I did a project with Thierry Demey. Then in 2016, I started organizing Sublab workshops, which was kind of like a monthly workshop. And then I got invited also to Greece to make a piece in a school. And then in 2017, I joined Emmanuel Gatt company, which I still work with currently. And then I think that's that briefly. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, because today at the first place where we invite you two together is also mainly for the festival. But actually, the more we talk about it, the more we think about it. It's like it would be such a shame to miss out. Actually, you have like lots of experience as dancers, as teachers, choreographers, and organizers of events and festival. And I think both are doing it on a very high level. And also, like, you're both very self-reflective and everything. So I think for today we have lots of things we can chat later. Anyway, as promised to the audience, we will still start with talking about the festival and then slowly shift it to maybe something more personal. And then we will also encourage and invite the audience to really basically ask whatever you want. We don't have to be like too restrict only under the festival theme. But of course, there's lots of very valuable information that, especially for young professionals, if you want to take workshops in Europe or whatever, I think these two people have a lot to offer. So, shall we come back to Samuel? Do you maybe want to introduce the festival you've been involved in the past 3 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the festival is called Festival Danse Maintenant, and it's been the place where we celebrate the festival is in a castle in France. It's called Verret, the castle of Verret, in the region of Loira, close to the city called Tours, and 2 hours from Paris, about. And the idea of the festival started because of the director. Her family is involved, is related to this castle, which is surrounded by nature, in front of the river, and close to this very small village. And the core of this idea, it was to promote and to share contemporary dance in this region, and also to create a connection through dance with the people of the region, and also professionals that wanting to be also taking workshops and performing in this space. So even though we were based in Switzerland, and the part of the team, we were 3 people, the director, Gabriela Gomez Abaitua, and then Paula Alonso and me. We were both co-founders. And so that was the main idea, no? To create something where dance was the main thing, and dance was connecting people with contemporary dance. And And to have an idea maybe about the festival, I don't know if it's a good moment now to maybe share the video so the audience also can have an idea of the space, how it looks, and also there is some little interviews of the participants and some of the teachers, and then we can talk more about it.
OK， 熊猫 ，Do you 你可以放刚刚的那个影片吗？谢谢。
C'est une petite parenthèse au bord de l'eau, dans un château où se fait une expérience humaine en même temps qu'une expérience chorégraphique. Enfin, je veux dire, c'est incroyable.
Au moment où on dit « Ok, tu vas danser dans les jardins d'un château », je veux dire, c'est fou, c'est juste, c'est incroyable.
Maura Morales et Marina Mascarel. Waouh!
On est au château de Verret, à Verret. Je suis la fondatrice et organisatrice de ce festival. Un festival qui avant tout met en avance l'échange et le partage entre des gens qui viennent de différentes cultures, pays, de différents parcours artistiques aussi, et qui viennent s'inspirer ici dans ce lieu qui est très très particulier, différent d'un studio de danse ou d'un théâtre.
Pues este sitio es que es un entorno maravilloso, profundamente inspirador porque estás en plena naturaleza.
Estamos muy contentos con los bailarines porque también son artistas que te inspiran, hay un ambiente muy bonito entre los participantes que es muy importante también y sí, es un give and take.
Sabes que normalmente es para celebrar, ¿no? Es para hacer fiestas y nosotros celebramos nuestra fiesta de otra forma, con el cuerpo, con el movimiento. El espacio, el interior del castillo también, por ejemplo, nos ha inspirado mucho para hacer un vídeo privado usando toda la historia que contienen estos muebles, las paredes, los cuadros y sobre todo la luz que cae en el castillo, ¿no? También al atardecer.
Ce qui était intéressant lors de ce cours avec Laure, dans ce contact, c'était vraiment la manière dont elle nous a guidés en fait pour nous, pour faire qu'il y ait une rencontre en fait entre tous ces corps. Notre journée porte ouverte propose plusieurs choses. Bon, il y a plusieurs activités, entre autres des ateliers qu'on donne pour les amateurs, les gens qui n'ont pas forcément fait de la danse, ou oui, mais en tout cas pas professionnellement. On fait pour des adultes et des enfants. Ce qui est aussi intéressant, c'est de voir les ateliers, enfin les workshops des professionnels. Après, il y a la présentation du laboratoire créatif. Le laboratoire créatif, c'est les créations que les participants eux-mêmes ont fait. Les participants qui, soit ils sont interprètes, soit ils sont créateurs. Et on fait un parcours dans tout le domaine avec toutes les pièces des chorégraphes, des créateurs. Je pense que c'est le moment préféré du public. Après les retours que j'ai eus, j'ai l'impression qu'ils aiment beaucoup cette balade depuis le château jusqu'au fond de la forêt, en passant par les jardins, la tente château. C'est un moment très spécial, très, très beau.
Okay, thank you. So I think by seeing a bit the video, you can have an idea about especially the space that is where the festival takes place, which is this beautiful castle that we are very lucky to have, well, to rent, because we have to rent it. And use also the nature that is close to it, that is also amazing, no? To be able to be dancing in the forest and get inspired in that way. And then, well, all the information was in French, but I'm going to just talk very shortly a bit about how the festival and the summer intensive is the structure of it. So it happens normally during the month of July, and it takes 1 week. And so in this week there is the summer intensive, where the participants have workshops with 2 different teachers during the morning. And then in the afternoon, there is a creative laboratory where some of the participants that are interested in creation, they have the possibility to choose different spaces inside the castle, in the nature, and in the surroundings of this space, and develop a little piece with the rest of the participants. And at the end of this week, during the festival days, that it takes place during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, these are 2 open days where the community can come to the castle, and there is many different activities for them as well, no? From, for example, workshops from kids to adults. There is also guide tours or visits to the castle, where they explain also the history, because it's a castle from the 19th century. And also then the performances that there is in these festival days on Saturday and Sunday. So it's basically the weekend is a weekend to celebrate dance and to share this work that is being done also during this whole week. And the participants has the possibility also to share the process they have been working on during the week in the creative laboratory. And also during the summer intensive, in some of the editions, I think in the last one there wasn't, but the first one and the second one, we had also sometimes invited a choreographer to give a conference also about the work, and so people also could ask about different things to this person. So I think basically this is the structure that it has the festival. Yeah, and I think maybe I now let Peter also to talk about this part of the festival, or I don't know.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we can do more like this, be like more exchanging, no?
Yeah.
So Pèter, you want to go?
Yeah. Wow, first of all, very beautiful place, Samuel. I really like it.
Very spectacular.
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I might join next year.
Hopefully.
So our thing. So we established the collective in 2012 with Adrian Ach and David Miko. So we were the 3 of us, the co-founders. And then in 2013, we started with IDW, International Dance Week Budapest. In 2016, David left the group, and now this year Ienna joined. So now we are 3 again, but we will talk about the team later. So about the festival, basically our festival is aiming to provide a creative platform for dancers from all over the world, and we are trying to create a non-competitive professional environment where they can share experiences and explore new ways of gaining knowledge and work hard and have fun. At the beginning, we thought it would be very beneficial for the Hungarian dance community to bring a bunch of internationally experienced professionals for a few days, for a few intensive days. And then it turned out actually from the first year that is like 70-80% of the participants are coming from abroad, but still the Hungarians are very happy about it. About the structure, so it's a 2 weeks long workshop festival, but the participants can only apply for 1 week. It's because of our places are limited in order to offer more space to our participants to enjoy the classes and the programs. For us, it's also important, maybe it's important to mention, not to share knowledge, but to really meet those people. And that's why the limited places to create personal relations. Each week we have 2 groups that has access to 5 classes a day. The duration of the classes are 2 hours, which means is like that they start at 9:30 in the morning and they basically having classes until 7:45 in the evening. So they are like constantly being physically under attack. Of course, with a nice lunch break in the middle. And this year we were supposed to create a brand new creation group, which offer 8 people to join and be part of a creation for 5 days, each week, which are premiered in the last day of the festival. Besides this, we also we offer basically two performances, 2 days, one in the middle of the week by pieces by guest choreographers, and then the last days the pieces created by the creation groups. And yeah, that's that. Maybe we can show the trailer here also.
Yes, please.
That's that.
Wow, that's very nice. But it's a pity. I don't know how is it for the audience, but for me, the video is still not as smooth as it could be, you know. But anyways, I think for the audience, I think you can find like the links to those festivals and informations. There are some links that you can check out more information afterwards. But I don't know, like when listening to you guys, I already feel like I'm quite curious, like how do you actually curate, like how do you, like who are the teachers that you invite or the performances you invite? Because I think that's basically your artistic choice as an organizer, no? And then I think also because you are both very experienced as dancers and also like now you're also teachers, so it's not only you are not only like looking at the business. I'm sure that you also have some personal ideas or opinions about like who you would like to bring to the dance community, or who you would feel is not necessarily more valuable, but maybe just like interesting and relevant to nowadays contemporary dance. would you like to, I don't know, from the experience or even like how you see in the future or something?
Peter, would you like to start now, or
as you maybe you can start like this. We can change.
We follow the same order. Well, I really like the video, so we should exchange next year. You can come to France and I can go to Budapest.
For sure.
Very nice. Well, about the teachers, sorry, the artistic choice. Basically, first we talk, the three of us, the team, and we talk about people that maybe we know or maybe we would like to work with, or we find interesting their work because we have seen it, or we have maybe take a class with them sometime and we would like to have more. This is the beginning, no? And then we start to confront the reality, because some of these teachers are not available because you have to contact them with a lot of time in advance, or maybe we cannot reach them with the money because we cannot maybe afford to bring them. But we are very, very happy with the teachers we had, and we feel also very lucky that they wanted to participate in the festival. No, for example, the first year we always have two teachers, and sometimes we think about the combination also in a different way. For example, the first year it was Juan Cruz. He's been a dancer, for example, with DB8 and Sasha Valls for many years, and in this case, I had a workshop with him in Berlin once, and I really like it. And I talked to the team about it, and they agree on bringing him. And then also it was Pau Aran, a dancer from Pina Bausch, and in this combination, the thing it was to have someone with a lot of experience, which is Juan Cruz, and then a younger dancer and choreographer, which also has a lot of experience, but still younger, no? And which is Pau Aran. And they have also very different works. Pau Aran was offering more dance theater workshop, and Juan Cruz, it was more physical and more improvisation, about exploring more with the body, no? So this is how it happens, like talking between us, then trying to reach the teachers, and it's always, we look for names also that are kind of no in the moment, but also not only that, also people that we really find is interesting for ourselves, that we would like to have the chance to work with them, and we think that it can be interesting also for the dancers nowadays. And other teachers that we have in the other two editions, it was Maura Morales and Marina Mascarell. That was last year, and the year before it was Antonio Ruz from Spain, a choreographer from Spain, and Humanhood, the couple that is based between Spain and London. And it's always also a contrast, no? For example, Antonio Ruz is more about improvisation and explore with the body different ways of moving, and Humanhood is more physical, and also with Maura Morales and Marina Mascarell it happens more or less the same. So that's it, how we look for teachers, and we kind of try to balance their work in the festival, in the summer intensive.
And Peter, how is that in International Dance Week Budapest?
Well, since I'm responsible for getting the teachers and look for teachers. Sorry.
No, I really.
Yeah. But I'm very lucky because I met like loads of people through creations, and we made a lot of friendships and relations. So it really widened my my perspective of people and the network. But like the strategy, how we are doing it is that we are not really looking for so-called big names that you usually find on other big festivals programs. It's more like we're looking for mainly active performers that are working with top European companies, and still have extremely interesting approaches in the studio. So it's more like this second generation teachers that we are looking for. On the other hand, there is this Hungarian contact, because we very much like to support the Hungarian teachers as well. So that are actually very, very talented, but not necessarily having the opportunities abroad to to give workshops. And so the ratio is like 7-8 Hungarians to like 3-4 foreigners each year. So this was supposed to be this year the eighth edition of IDW Budapest. Maybe I just tell you what was supposed to be the program this year, like teacher-wise, and we will try to gather the same group of teachers next year. I'm not sure it will be possible because, like Samuel said, it's a lot of work, like trying to negotiate and find the right time with the schedules, with everyone's schedules, because most of them, a lot of them are freelance artists, and you all know like how difficult it is to manage. So this year we were supposed to have, for the two creations group, Joy Alpuerto Ritter from Akram Khan and Masha Kolagova from Ultima West, like they were supposed to create the two pieces. And then to teach, we had Maria Colusi from Sasha Waltz, Attila Rónai, who used to be dancing for Hofes Schechter, Evangelia Radiu from Dimitris Papaioannou company, and then Natalia Ivanec as a Gaga teacher, and then Csaba Varga from the Swiss company Linga, Jenna Jalonen from Collective Dob, Máté Mészáros from One Man Crowd. He's the one who's been working with Ultima West for years, and then Esther Gál, who's our contact guru. And then we have Gyula Cserepes, who's been working with C. Philippe Zaire. So basically that's that. We are also trying to find a nice combination of having improvisation, having some floor work, having some repertory, having some contact. So it's a bit of everything.
No, but I also I think that's why I asked, because I remember like in the beginning when I first arrived in Europe, sometimes you want to take classes or something, but then you never know where to go or who to go, and I feel like it's often also just comes with experience, or as Pèter said, like you study to meet people, you know more or less what is good for you, what you're interested in, and you kind of make your own network.
Yeah, exactly.
It's maybe still interesting for people who are not, for example, in Europe or somewhere else now, like to, I don't know, have a sense of actually what are the names that you could maybe look for, even if in the end it's not only for the big names, but it's just kind of a sense of getting into it, no?
Yeah.
And actually, someone already asked a question that I think is quite relevant, and I kind of wanted to ask anyway. It's more the practical side of the organization of the festival. Like, for example, your team, like how many people is on the team and how do you work together? And if it's like full-time commitment or the founding structure, all these things. And also like for me, it's also because I know from both of you, I think there's always a shift. Like in the beginning, you really started from zero, right? Like 0, just on your own. But slowly, maybe it got more fundings or more, just more feedback from the participants and everything. And then maybe there's a shift, like how you sustain the festival now. If you feel like sharing. And I remember Pèter also said something about the COVID time this time. No, like because it's cancelled or something. I don't know. if you still feel like talking about it. But I remember you once mentioned to me.
About I will.
Anyways, talk about how you get money to do it.
Okay.
Someone
Okay,
want to go first?
Yeah, let's go. So about the team in Semanteno, well, there is, as I said already, the three main people, which is the director and the two co-founders, where I am one of them. And we share the main work, basically all the artistic decisions, the organization for publicity, also contacting the teachers, booking the trips for them, inviting the companies, and being in contact with the participants that come to the festival. All that is we share that work between the three of us, and it's only 1 week, the festival in the summer intensive, but we have to start as soon as the festival finishes in July. Already at the end of August, we start to think about the teachers we would like to contact, and you have to also make a review of the festival that just happened, how it went, what can we make better. We ask always the participants to have a feedback, and this is important for us to try to make every year things better, for things that maybe we don't see and we don't realize that it can be better. We take that in mind for next edition. And then we basically we have many friends that want to be involved in the festival and help. They are mainly dancers and also choreographers, some of them. And each edition they are about 9, and they help with many different things, from helping to the cookers, to the chef, because there is also. We have 2 people from the region that they cook with products also from the region. We wanted to have that also as an offer for the participants, but they need help because for all the people that comes, also with cleaning, with preparing the castle in the beginning, with all the accommodation. And then especially for the festival days on the weekend, to prepare all the signs, for example, in the nature, for the parking, panels of information, for all these things that we didn't think about it in the beginning. And then we realized, oh my God, there is a lot of things to do and we cannot do everything. And every year we want to do maybe more things, or to put a bit more maybe decoration or stuff like that, or to have like a canteen for food and drinks, and someone has to be there to, all this stuff, And who else we have? I think basically that's the team. So the 3 of us running all the main things, and then the helpers, that is mainly friends. And then the other thing, it was about the financial situation, no?
Sure,
Shall I go for it already, or I let Peter talk about the team?
I really don't mind. TingAn?
Yeah, go for it. It's fine. Go for it, yeah.
Go for it, who? Me?
Yeah, no, Samuel, go for it.
Okay.
Yes, because now we have like a part of the picture of the team, how it works, and I think because people also ask if it's actually like a full-time job being in a team, or because I think I can also imagine it's like a lot of work to do, like a big organization. You put lots of time, but how do you get compensated? And
well, that's the not so easy part, the financial one. The first year, for example, in all these 3 3 years, the organizers, like the director and the 2 co-founders, we didn't get any money. We did all the work, and we expect that someday some money comes back to us, but also we could cover what we spend. No, so it's we, at least this is our aim, and it's been growing year by year. The first year we just ran the festival with the crowdfunding campaign that we did before the festival, and a little help with the city hall from the village, and then the money from the inscriptions of the participants. That was all we had to pay the teachers, to pay everything for the teachers and everything for the helpers as well. We can't until now pay the helpers any money for the work, but we cover everything: the trip, the accommodation, the food, and that's the way also they are compensated, and they also can take workshops sometimes, not every day, because they have to work also in between, and some of them even perform as well during the festival days. And the second year it was a bit better. We got some funding from a Spanish organization. It's called Acción Cultural Española, and mainly because we also invited many Spanish teachers as well, because the 3 of us, the 3 organizers, we are Spanish, and we wanted also to promote Spanish dancers and choreographers that we know. And so we got money from this organization, and we got a bit more from the region, and also donations. So then it was a bit better. And the third year, more or less the same as the second one. And so that's it. The financial part is still, we are working on it. We are trying to find more ways of getting money, especially from friends, because the festival is held there, and more from the region. But from talking with other people, also friends that organize festival, we know that this is something that takes time, and hopefully it gets better every year.
Pèter, how is the situation in Budapest then?
Really bad. No.
Wait, sorry, 1 second. I interrupt you 1 second. I'm just going to talk to the audience quickly. 我们刚刚很自然就讲了很多，就是我讲什么？就希望大家可以多提问，就是随时可以有任何问题。我们等一下，我们可能在大概10分钟左右之后就会有一个休息，然后回来会是 Q&A 时间。所以如果你们开始有问题，就可以稍微构想一下怎么问这样。好，谢谢。Sorry, Pèter, let's come back to you.
Love it.
Yeah.
So about the team. So we are 3 people in the group that are actually organizing everything. Adrian Ach, who's the co-founder from the beginning, and then we have Jenna Jalonen now joined the group this year. So, like I said, I'm responsible to bring the teachers in and keep contact with them. And then there is Adrian Ach, who's is kind of like a project director. She's doing a lot of administrative things, and then there is Jenna, who's like the creative project manager in a way, if I have to give a title for that. But basically, all 3 of us like working this out together, and basically on the structure we are working together equally. So about the organization, like Samuel said, it's almost like a full year thing. Like once you finish the festival, and we also usually organize it in July, we just have to start organizing almost in August and September immediately, and start thinking about names. That's really my part. It's also because, you know, the earlier you start organize it and make it clear, like date-wise, then the easier they can also manage to you know, to plan further ahead. We also, so that's the three of us, and then we have, of course, helpers as well that are there while the festival is happening. So in the beginning, we were trying to do everything by ourselves, like the three of us. So, and actually until last year, we served the food, like we did everything, which we really loved. But for the last year, we got a little bit tired. So now we have more and more people coming in and, you know, helping us. We have an amazing Irish cook that is providing the food every day. Yeah, that's that. We have a cooperation partner that is very, very important to mention is Sheen Art Center, who's actually providing the space for us in a very, very friendly price. That is also very important because they provide the whole building for us with all the studios and everything. So the facility is amazing, and we are super grateful for them because until today, it's a really friendly price. About the financial part, so we started with the first year with the €200 loss. I remember it's like burned into my head, and then so from the beginning we wanted to have it like self-sustainable, you know, financially, because we know that the situation in Hungary like culturally is really bad. Like there is almost no support from the government, so we were trying to, you know, manage to create from the income, and that's how it is until today. So to find the balance to still really keep it cheap for the participants, you know, and especially for the Hungarians, because there is still a big gap in between, you know, abroad and Hungary, and so how we can manage that, and also how to save enough to create the next year's festival. That was a bit challenging. Because actually until today, the maximum support from the government was €1,300. So imagine that, to create a festival from that amount of money. So basically that's what we are trying. And now the festival is growing. In the beginning, it was a 5 days workshop, intensive workshop, and now it has grown into a 2 weeks festival. So it's going okay, and we can still save. Of course, we would love to save more, but it's like we are getting there, because the aim is to have our own space, you know, to create our own kind of residence to host the festival. Yeah, I think that briefly that's that.
Wow, there's so much passion, guys. You need a lot of passion. Lots of passion, care.
If people wanna, I mean, they have to know that it's a lot of unpaid hours that you work, but it's very precious, because once you see the end product, you know, you see what you create, it's just like it gives it back.
And I think we also already saw it from a video. I mean, of course, it's a promotion, but I've been there. I don't know, like you really could see that it's growing. So even if in the beginning it's unpaid, but you do have this, or you just really care about it and you really grow with it, that you build something on your own. No? I don't know. I find that's very precious. But on that note, shall we maybe take a break now, like 5 minutes or something? And then maybe come back. Maybe a few more questions about the festivals, but then also maybe could transition into your personal role in this festival, like I don't know, working abroad for many years and then coming back to like in a West local dance community. Like I know with Samuel, like the festival is in France, it's maybe not necessarily your local community, but I know you're also very much involved in many, like a few different festivals in Canary Islands. So for example, that kind of things, and also your role of being like a dancer, teacher, organizer, how do you develop that through? So I would also 也很欢迎观众可以就是打开你的想象去提问，就是任何问题。那我们待会见 ，5 minutes. See you later.
See you later.
Hello，欢迎回来。我们现在已经有一些问题在这边了，所以我们就先，然后因为今天的主题比较就是跟舞蹈，然后还有艺术节有关系，然后中间刚刚两位在分享的时候也提到很多名字啊什么，我还是很鼓励大家可以去上他们的网站去看那些更多详细的资讯，如果你对这些名字相对来讲比较不熟悉的话。好，那我们就继续。所以Lin Chen 提问说，针对这两个艺术节最具代表性的特色是什么？尤其是其中一个艺术节在户外庄园举行，有没有什么有趣的经验可以分享？然后另外一个回到我们刚刚其实也有问两位讲者，就是选择师资的标准是什么？ So I think when the audience asks what is the most in these two festivals? What are your most representative features, especially when some of your festival is held in outdoor and also in the castle? So is there any like interesting experience to share? I heard, I don't know, you told me a few times about the tent or I don't know, this thing or in forest. I think that's maybe fun, but then also like I think Pèter, you also have some organizations of like how to connect to people with the food and like this community thing. Yeah, maybe we start from there because then there's the other question later, more for Pèter, is again about the teachers, but let's save that for later.
Well, yeah. For example, with the tents, there is two different tents in the outside the castle, because the spaces to work are basically the tent next to the castle, which is very well closed on the walls, and it has a very nice roof. No, but then the other one that we built in the forest is quite open. So we have kind of a roof made of plastic that we put ourselves, like hanging from the trees. Every year is a bit messy, but we at the end we make it. And the problem there is when there is rain, because it's outside, and sometimes it has happened that we maybe in the morning start to rain a little bit, so then we have to change the people from that is working in that tent, and then they work inside the castle because there is two big living rooms, and we can organize that group inside there while we go with the helpers and we clean the tent, and we try to make it good, the space to work in the afternoon if it's possible and if the rain stops. So the rain is, I would say, is one of the maybe the things that sometimes we have to deal with. And and about the food, maybe also is something that we really always have a good feedback from the participants, no? And the accommodation in the castle, the fact that they can stay in this very old place with these rooms that has this old decoration and has this history, and they really appreciate to have to spend this week in this space. And then the food, because it's as I said, with products from the region to French cookers, and it's always a different menu that they can enjoy, and I think it's also something that we know that they appreciate it. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I feel like maybe the most representative feature could be like it really everything's organized around the castle, right? And also the surroundings, like the forest around, and I think we also saw that was in the video. It is very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
But Pèter, how about you? What is the most representative feature in your festival?
Well, we also have I wouldn't call it castle, but we have our building also, which is very nice because it's
very nice
quite.
Place. It's a very nice place.
It's a very nice place. It used to be it's funny. It used to be a billiard salon in before 20 years ago, and then they turned it into a cultural center. And now the guys who are running the place now, they worked a lot on, you know, on the insides and everything, and so people really enjoy the space. It has a very nice atmosphere. And it has 3 studios, and usually 2 studios where the classes are happening. And the third studio, we create kind of a chill room with, you know, mattresses and a bit of decoration and stuff, which you know, which becomes very popular also after the 3rd day of the workshop. And then we have this nice area with the food. Like I mentioned, there is this Irish cook who has a restaurant in the center. So basically, we bring it always the food, like every day. Like we bring the fresh food and we serve it. We served it to the participants, and they really like it. We have, you know, veggie and meat menu too. 3-course menu. Well, 3-course. There is like a soup and main course. And the fruit is the 3rd course, which we bring from the market. And then what else? About accommodation, unfortunately we don't have enough space to, you know, to accommodate the participants, but we always make sure that we send out a list to have an overview on the hostels, Airbnbs, accommodations in the city, so they can find it easier when they come. Yeah.
And I guess also, I don't know, because the living cost is not so high in Budapest, no, comparing to many other Central European cities. Yeah.
Something happened. Yeah. The costs are very low, so it's really, especially because people are usually from abroad are coming with, you know, groups, like small groups, or maybe 2-3 people, and they could easily rent an Airbnb flat for a very low price.
Yeah. But actually, there's the other question also for Pèter. Someone wants to know, what is a standard for, wait, let me read it. What is the selection criteria for teachers for International Dance Week Budapest? Like if there's a selection standard or something, yeah.
Well, there is no really standard. The thing is that we, like every year, we also have this questionnaire. So we are asking for feedbacks from the participants. So we take that under consideration also while we are selecting teachers. And also, like I said, like based on people I meet, and also, you know, this like the young dancers, because our target group is mostly this 21 to 25 age group, and they, you know, they still a bit into big companies in Europe. So we also have to take that under consideration, like, okay, where are these people are dancing. And also we are open to proposals. So if we are very open to you know, accept emails and proposals from people, from teachers, you know, sending us our packages, you know, videos from there, or class descriptions, and we check them also. And if we see something interesting, we're definitely open to invite them.
Because actually, apart from your festival, you also have like monthly workshops, right? Kind of as the promotion or ongoing thing for the festival. And there you have more teachers from like different backgrounds or something.
Yes, we started to organize that in 2016. So it's like a monthly workshop, 1 weekend each month from September to April, which seems like finished now with the pandemic. It's also, you know, like there are no studios available. There are also financially is more difficult to create. Also with the cancellation of our summer festival is like, so we had we have a much tighter budget. But we also decided to stop it because we want to focus our energy and into the program that we are going to launch next year, September. So it's kind of like we take that to the next level, and yeah.
Actually, there's the other question waiting, and then we will go back to Samuel. But since Pèter, you mentioned the program that you're focusing on, do you actually want to talk about it a bit more? Because I find it very interesting.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 7-month program. I would rather call it kind of like a youth company thing. So we have like a group of 10 people starting in September, and and they are working with choreographers. So each month, different choreographer. The first block is 3 months. They are working with 3 choreographers, and the end of this 3 months, they have a premiere in Trafo in Budapest in the theater. And then it's kind of similar the second time. In between, they have a session for 1 month where they can work on their own, own creations, and that can be also presented within the frame of the program. Inside that, they have daily training, each week different teachers. We also provide them kind of like lectures about sound, self-management, lights. So it's kind of like we want to offer a package for them to get them ready for freelance life, in order to, when they finish the program, just to have a few skills to, if they want to create something, just to know how to start. And also, self-management wise, to get ready a bit like how to be a freelancer, because there are loads of questions that you have to deal with. And also in the end of the program, from like out of these 10 people, for 3 people, we offer opportunities to get an apprenticeship position in 3 different companies in Europe. Basically, that's the plan, and we would start next year, September. And the website will be ready around January. And so I just, in the chat window, I put all my details, personal details, and if you guys want to follow, then you will see the news.
Wow, exciting. But is it also open for international dancers, or more focusing on Hungarian?
And there is no age limit, so it's up for everyone. So everyone is welcome to join and to apply. And it's gonna be affordable also.
You're already trying to sell it. No, but I mean, really, like knowing you or knowing the festival a bit, I do find it very, I don't know, it's something very content, like down to earth. But like you really try the best to offer as much as you can. Maybe it's not like one, I don't know, Impulse Dance Festival, whatever. It's kind of a huge global festival that in the end you actually just get lost, because everything was kind of there, but nothing was so inviting. And I find these kind of more intimate, also with Samuel's festival, these kind of more intimate environments that you can build a real connection and network with people. I think that's a lot more important and also practical, even for career-wise. So let's go on with the other question. Actually, I think it's more for Samuel. The question is, in Taiwan, because we don't have castles, but some works would be presented in front of temples. You probably saw it, instead of castles or like church. So in Taiwan, the more relevant thing is maybe like temples. Especially also when people are trying to do something more like combined with a local religion or local customs or stories. So she would just like to ask if the dance festival held in the castle would produce different content for different places. Like if you have any examples. So the pieces that are produced there, is there any, I don't know, special relationships to the building because of the history behind?
Well, not really. The castle is only the space where we organize the festival and we present it, and then we choose the facade, I think you say, or facade, the fachada of the castle, like the front of it. The facade, is where we put the stage, no? And it's because it's just beautiful to see dance also in front of that, and we try to make a nice nicer with lights and stuff. But there is no relation with the choreographies, between the choreographies and the castle. We just invite companies or sometimes perform some of the teachers that came to the summer intensive as well. Their pieces, but not with relation to it. What it can happen sometimes that gets related to the castle or the nature is in the creative laboratory, that some of the dancers maybe propose a theme a bit more related to maybe something historical inside the living room, maybe because they get inspired by some picture that is there, or the furnitures, the space, and the same with the nature. No, during the creative laborative is also they take this space as inspiration. So the result, it can happen, but it's not necessary that some of the pieces get this relation with the space. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And then actually something more from a personal curiosity that I just want to ask you, like, because both of you have been working abroad like for many, many years, and also I think until now, with Pèter, for example. But is there any, especially now, like being the organizer of a festival, or like just lots of different various experience, like, do you have any observation or personal opinion when you return to your so-called like local community in your home country? And maybe if there's anything that you can relate to about then the way you see your festival, or just even just on a personal level, like how would you want to, just was there any observation, like maybe after working abroad for many years and then coming home and looking around, like do you feel any like difference in a way, or like if there anything that you feel like you can bring to the community and why, or yeah.
Well, in my case, I won't talk about maybe the Festival Dance de Mantenó, because it's I'm not coming from this place, no. But as you said before, TingAn, I am also involved in some festivals in the Canary Islands, where I go mainly to perform or sometimes teach. And one thing that I see that before, when I was living there, it was not happening, is that the festivals looks more connection with the people by creating performances in different spaces, like not only in the theater or in one space, but especially two of them, the one in Tenerife and also in Las Palmas, they make like a parcours, like I don't know how you say also, promenade, like a path, no, in the city, where you can go and join these different performances that are happening in different spaces, sometimes outside, sometimes inside of a gallery, they prepare the space, or inside of a museum. And I can see how more people that maybe is not related to dance has the possibility to see it and to participate even sometimes. And I think that's something very, very important. And I really like it when I see these kind of festivals that are very integrated in the community and in the spaces. Not only in one space that only the people maybe that knows about it wants to go, but also people that is walking on the street can suddenly just stop by and see and enjoy it. Yeah.
And how is that for you, Pèter?
Yeah, like I said, we started because we wanted to offer something for Hungarians, and it turned out that we don't have so many Hungarian participants. But then throughout the years, it's getting more and more, and I think they started to realize also that that actually they would pay even more if they still have to travel abroad, than take the workshop. And then because they still had it in their mind that, okay, but still this workshop is happening in Hungary, so maybe it's too expensive for us, so why would I pay for that, even though there are internationally acclaimed teachers. But I think little by little they realized, so we have more and more Hungarians are coming, and I feel like it is very valuable for them also, in order to to start their networking, especially because they're like, most of us are doing project-based stuff, so they have to start network, and they, I think, little by little realize that. that they also gain knowledge from each other and from the teachers, and you know, they have a little taste of community feeling also. And we also provide scholarships each year, which helps, you know, the Hungarians to, you know, to participate. And by that, maybe we also try to create a stronger dance community. What I wanted to say, yeah, and also just the fact that, you know, by offering them a summer festival, it's also just widening their perspective of, you know, dance, basically. They don't get stuck in Hungary, and they just have you know, a better view on dance life. Yeah, because especially they a lot of them are not, you know, able to afford trips abroad, like I said before.
Yeah, or in the beginning, no, the first taste of some, I don't know, like a professional dance world or something. Yeah, and it's very lucky for them to have a bit stronger local community to support and to understand a bit which area to go.
Yeah, because they are very talented, and there are many talented dancers in Hungary, so it would be a pity, you know, because otherwise they would just get lost in the Hungarian, you know, scene where they have no support, and they would be like, okay, is that all? Is that what dancing is?
Yeah, really. But also following from that, maybe a last thing from me, and we also don't have much time anymore. But anyways, I also would like to ask, it's maybe something more personal instead of so much about the festival. It's more like the transition in your career, that from being a professional dancer and like working very intensely professionally for many years, and then now maybe getting more into teaching, or of course like organizing as well, curating. Like, how do you enjoy yourself, like shifting between the roles? Like, how do you develop your vision from being a performer to doing other things?
Well, in my case, I think all these transitions happen kind of naturally, or just came and I took it. Like when I decided to dance, it was, you know, like I think every one of us, like a passion, and where you spend and give a lot to it. And then choreography, the same. I started to try choreography because we had the opportunity in the company in Lucerne, and I started to choreograph every year. And then I decided to present one piece in one competition, and I got some prize. And then through that, it continued to develop. And the same with organizing the festival. It happened also by connecting with these two friends, and suddenly I saw myself involved in the team, and I said, yeah, why not? And I had no idea. I had to learn many things, you know, like everyone when you do something for the first time, and about how to make the promotion, to be very organized with emails, with the participants, all the contracts that we need to make with the participants as well, and all the money stuff, and through all these things, I think you learn, and then you see where is your, if you want to continue in that way or another, no? And for example, for me, right now I have had a very nice experience as a dancer, but I decided to focus more on teaching now, because I feel I don't feel that I don't know, fire for being on a stage, and I needed also like kind of a break, and body-wise, mind-wise, and I wanted to do something different also, you know. And teaching also is, I think all these things is also something where you are sharing all the time with people. When you dance, you share with your colleagues, with the public. In the festival as well, you are sharing with the team, with the participants, and also with teaching with the students, no, and the other teachers. So there is always this kind of connection with the body, with the language, and at the end is quite related, everything. Yeah, so I think that's how I've been shifting from one to another, no, by letting myself go into one thing and another, and always with the wish of keep learning and enjoying also the dance in different ways. That's it.
And Pèter?
Yeah, same actually. It came naturally, also it's like from the beginning when I was a little youngster, I just started to, always wanted to organize like friendly gatherings and stuff like that. And then of course I was dancing. There are these four things, like I had dancing, and I had creating as a choreographer, teaching, and organizing, and these four things are following me all the way, because I started also organizing quite early. So it has been always like part of my life, and now it feels like Samuel said, dancing is fading a bit. Kind of like the same reasons, body, mind, and then but on the other hand, still when I'm on stage, I still enjoy myself. So I think that's what drives me still. On the other hand, like the rehearsal periods are a bit more, struggling. And yeah, organizing is there, and I feel like teaching is there still. Creating, making pieces, not anymore. Like I also feel that, okay, that's that. I don't really feel home in that. So I think I will just keep on going with organizing probably, and create, establish something like this long program, and then maybe after that get a farm and create my own residency place. That are the further plans. Yeah.
But I think you both mentioned like you kind of learn it as you go. But was there anything like in a way like important skill or qualification or anything that you found out on the way, like, oh, it's actually very important if I want to shift from dancing or performing myself into other things? Was there anything you found out like, oh, actually it would have been, of course it's fine how I'm doing it, but it would be even better or easier if I knew it earlier or something?
Well, I think always when you know about something, maybe in advance, it can help you, but at the same time, is in the practical, when you practice something, when you really learn, and when you know how it works, no? Beside you learn a lot of theory, or maybe you study something, all that, I'm sure that for sure can help, no? For example, with organizing the festival, I didn't have that feeling, because also it was something that I was doing beside my dancing, and it was only 1 week, even though it takes the whole year to organize, but still we had time to do everything little by little, and we were always having the chance to ask other friends how they were doing, and so that help was there, no? And with teaching, I feel the same. I feel that there is some knowledge that we have already there, and also I'm learning day by day, and each group is different. Each person is different. When you teach something, when you try to that person to show one move or one coordination, you have to find a way that person is able to understand you, and so yeah, I think always some formation for sure it helps, but then it's I really believe more in the wish you have to do that, and the wish you have to do it good.
And Pèter, anything to add?
I think the same, that is coming by like learning by doing it. Just the first thing that came to my mind is the language, but it's like something Hungarian that is something very much missing to to learn English, especially. And I was having difficulties in school. I remember in SEED in Austria, but it's like this helps a lot, and also helps a lot to make connections and to meet people. And then the rest of it, like really coming by doing it with the festival as well. In the beginning, we had no idea, no clue what we are doing, but by doing it year by year, you just learn it. And I can't really, maybe special, I don't know, maybe just keep it open-minded and just just keep it open to people to get ideas, and just don't be like selfishly going forward, but maybe just listen to your environment. That's what I could.
Yeah, I think I do really connect to what you say, because last week I was giving the talk, and then somebody also asked me like how long did it take me to get used to the language and everything, and I just feel like, because I was super shy actually, but I think at some point I just feel like, no, but fuck it, I really want to connect with people, and then my curiosity for the people and the environment is a lot bigger than my own shyness. Like it's almost for me like a selfish act that I want to protect my ego. I want to look good or whatever. You don't want to make mistakes. But actually, if you just focus on like the wish, like someone said, like your wish, what you actually want to do, and then you go for it and just let it go. And then I think that naturally the curiosity, the care, so then you start to make a genuine connection to people, and then things start to flow on its own.
Yeah.
I guess we actually need to kind of wrap up here. I will quickly switch to Mandarin again, talking about next week. 很谢谢大家今天跟我们一起聊了很多不一样的东西，然后所有的补充资讯跟连结啊，网站都会我们会贴在留言区。然后我们下礼拜还有最后的2场是Alina 跟 Thais， 然后还有 Morris 跟 Julie。一样在星期五跟星期天，然后星期五的时候会比较多专注在表演者身体的准备，包括是从生理学或是物理治疗的角度，然后或者是表演者如何去经营自己那个在台上的 presence。然后另外礼拜天的话比较有趣，是跟舞蹈比较没有关系的，是比较从音乐跟当地的社区营造出发的2位艺术家、设计师，一个是音乐家，一个是文化策展、视觉设计背景的人，相信会非常精彩。然后今天谢谢你们，我们大概就在这边结束，希望你们有个美好的一天。Thank you, guys. I think we are finishing here.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye.